How you doing?
Oh, bud.
Yeah, not much.
How was your weekend?
It was a good one. Had the kids started early. Had a half day Friday, so could go to sports day. Apparently, I've got a championship pedigree seed because nothing but podiums for the kids.
Good. Is
All
their mom
wins
real
for
good at stuff?
no. all wins for George and 2/3, a second, and a first for Evelyn.
Nice. Well done,
No,
kiddo.
I
Well
know
done.
Erwin was egg and spoon race. She claims she's never lost an egg and spoon race, but every time I've been there, she's always won. So I believe her.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I
Your
went down to
weekend?
London on Saturday to hang out with Ian and Vicky and Helly and Liam.
Mm.
What a good time.
Yeah.
Although Ian and Vicky went pretty hard on Friday night. So, and then of course, you know how hot it was on Saturday, and they were out touring London and doing different things. So Vicky was she was feeling a little rough, I think, but she managed a few beers with us, and then they
Yeah.
left, and then it ended up just being me, Helly, and Liam, and one of Helly's mates, and yeah, we tied it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up in a drag bar, um, just having a good laugh, man, having a good
Yeah.
laugh.
Yeah. Cool.
It was a good time. All right, man. Shall we do some results before we get our guest
Yeah.
on?
Yeah. So Belgian Open.
Belgian Open, man. We'll just kind of go. I'm not going in any major order. I'm just going to kind of go in the way I'm getting it written down, if that's all right with you. First of all, man, I want to give a big shout out to Levi, one of our loyal listeners from Germany. He won the Belgian juniors bracket this weekend, so congratulations out to him. Then swap on Friday night, and Frederick Morey and Hendrik Kranz took down Dennis Cotter and Marie Desmet Baker. I think it's her son Bruno that's coming over with the other Dutchman for the UKCL or UK ACL Open. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I played against her when we went to Italy. Or was it Trier? It might have been Trier. No, sorry, Bitburg. I think it was Bitburg, matter of
Yeah.
fact, when me and Liam went to Bitburg. Super nice lady. I'm pretty sure that was her. And then, of course, Frederick, the Frenchman, always a nice guy. Super nice to everybody. And then Hendrik, the German, always good to do too. And, of course, Dennis Cotter in his funky-ass boots. But, yeah. So then on Saturday, man, we had the singles. And as you know, they had Sean Farrell over from the States, the sensei himself. So, ironically enough, he did not podium. Roman Elsner took down Obi for the King Seat match. And then EJ was able to defeat Obi as well to then get back into the finals, where he needed to double dip Roman, but could not do it and lost 22-20. So Roman took first, EJ second, and Obi got third. Dude, Obi's game is like, it's on point right now, man. Every time we're somewhere and that dude's throwing, you're just like, yeah, he's got a legit chance to win anything he plays. Then that evening they had the Pro Invitational, and of course it's single elimination. But Roman Elsner took down Obi in the semis, and Mathieu Revolt took down Richard Blank in the other semi, and then Roman Elsner took down Mathieu. And as we all know, the French they've been at a few tournaments. I haven't got to see them much other than Switzerland, but they're still a force to be reckoned with for sure. And then then tier 2, Aaron Filder, the American out of Germany, took down he double dipped Walter Griesel, and which was crazy because Walter beat Thomas Pernack for the King seat. Aaron beat Thomas Pernack to get it back into the finals, and then Aaron double dipped Walter. So, good, congratulations, Aaron. Sorry, Walter. I know how bad it sucks to get double dipped. I've been there before. Yeah, it happens. And then on Sunday we had doubles, and of course, 5 out of 7 events, same team. Kris and Gavin taking it down, man.
Yeah.
They're just, so I'm sure everybody's pretty happy that Kris is leaving soon, like this week, because now all these doubles teams got a chance again, I guess. They took down Carl and Roman Elsner in the finals, who took down Dennis Cotter and Andreas Meen in the loser bracket final.
Yeah. So
congratulations to those 3 teams: Kris and Gavin, Sean and Roman, and Dennis and Andreas. So yeah, that was the Belgian Open. I know we're kind of going through it quick for you guys out there listening, but we have a guest coming on in about 10 minutes, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it with said guest. But I do want to address something quickly because we have 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. It never fails, man. Anytime I talk about bags, someone gets their panties in a wad. And it's ridiculous. So the point of the comment was, because I was not bad-mouthing anyone's bags. The point of the comment was, to be a legit league, you have to set a standard. Yeah. And you have to maintain that standard. And there needs to be in the rules, if you're not going to issue, if you as a league aren't going to issue a stamp, which has not been issued by the league, by the way, and if it has, there's no legitimacy behind it because there's nobody testing these bags. There's no set standard. So in the rules, at some point, I'm not saying it's got to happen today, not saying it's got to happen tomorrow, but at some point in the rules, it's going to have to state what bags you're allowed to throw, because someone's going to have to take responsibility for that. Yeah. And if Ben, Ali, and Nick come out and say tomorrow you can throw ACL, or UKCL stamped bags, that's fine. But there's got to be a way, like it's got to be legitimacy, and you got to be able to see that there was a process these bags had to pass. And we know that there's a process for ACL. We know there's a process for the ACO, and they're the exact same. Matter of fact, I spoke to Dan Lilly earlier today. For the ACO bags, him and Charge, for Great and for Charge, it first goes through Danny as the European ACO director. Yeah. And then they got to send them off to the states to be tested by the ACO there. So we know that's a legit stamp. Yeah. The ACL, obviously, Slicky Baggers, they've got to test it. They've got to send it to the states to be tested. So we know that's legit. And we know these bags in the states are being tested, ACO and ACL. We know that. 100%. We know that. These guys are getting tested on a regular basis at tournaments. We know this.
Yeah. I mean, right? How many times this season has there been somebody win a tournament for their bags to be then tested straight after?
On the first 5 or 6 opens, I saw them getting tested before. They were having to put matches on hold because people were getting their bags tested. So it happens. So my comment that these bags used to not be stamped, they were not. The first sneak bags were not stamped, but they were being manufactured by an ACL accredited bag manufacturer. So we took it on face value that these bags were good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Danny sells sneak to Tony. Again, no slight on Tony. I think he's a stand-up guy. No doubt in my mind he is following the rules to a T, making his bags. No doubt in my mind. But what is the quality control process? That was my point. There is no, to put a UKCL stamp on it means that it's went through a process, and there is no current process. That's all I meant. And when Charge first started putting UKCL stamps on theirs, where was the process? Was there a process? Because Ben didn't seem to even know that there was a UKCL stamp. And maybe he just misunderstood what we're saying, and I'm sure I'll take flack for that shit later too. But Are we sending it to those 3 to be tested? Are they measuring them? If you're going to put a stamp on a bag, it's got to mean something. If not, just put your name on it and let's move on. Yeah. Now, I know for a fact that now John's going through that process. I 100% know that because he's got an ACO stamp, man. And good on him because that's what we said. Just like I said, I'll buy some of his bags for the ACO event. I truly will. He has good bags. So it was no slight on anybody's bags.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, too, at the ACO event, it came into question.
Yeah.
If ACL bags were going to be allowed, can UKCL bags be allowed? And then people question the legitimacy of a UKCL bag because no one knew what it was. Or, you know what I mean? Like, there was no process behind it.
Yeah.
So I know everybody got pissed off. But the fact of the matter is, man, I'm not bashing anybody's bags. But if you have a legit process that it was being tested and someone's going to be held accountable, if that bag doesn't meet standards, by all means, let me know.
Yeah.
Because I as far as I'm aware, there was no process. And we have it from Danny even. The first bag to ever have the UKCL stamp on there literally was put on there to make it look more professional.
Yeah.
That was it. And like I said, I spoke to Danny earlier and he goes, all I had was a template. I knew what the rules said and we had a template. So I tried to follow that template. But he goes, but my bags were being made by an ACL manufacturer.
Yeah.
So again, the question wasn't bags themselves. The question was, or the point was, that if we're going to be a legitimate league, we need it in the rules what bags are allowed. And if we're going to allow someone to make a bag with a UKCL stamp, there has to be a process to get it to a standard of an ACL or an ACO bag in the point of standards, not in quality, not in, oh, it's going to do this, it's going to do that. Everybody got their own bags and they're all good in their own way. And we know that. We do know that. They are good in their own way. There are bags that I like from the ACO, and there are bags I like from the ACL. And there's even a set of sneak bags that I like. My point is, the bags aren't in question. It's the legitimacy of the league in saying, we need a set standard. And if you put a UKCL stamp on something, there's got to be a standard for proving that is on the up and up and legit every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know why everybody come at me about this, man.
I mean, I'm looking at the positive side from it. The engagement figures are going up on Facebook.
I know.
More views to the page, more comments, more likes.
Oh, I was happy that people, all it meant was at least people listened to the end.
Yeah.
Because that conversation was literally, the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the podcast. So at least people listened to the end.
Yeah, just look at it as all publicity is good publicity.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. So Ben, Ali, Nick, hey guys, don't care. Just put a bulletin out there, man. Put it in the rules now saying, hey, this can be thrown or this can be thrown. But if you allow a UKCL stamp bag, we've got to come up with a process because there's a process for everything else.
Yeah. And while we're talking stamp bags, ACL stamp bags, shout out to the sponsors as always. Slicky
Just
Baggers.
B10.
Yeah.
Just B10. For a few small things, man, if anybody's going to hit it up, you might have an opportunity to message Anthony because I know he's supposed to be coming over for the UKCL or the UK ACL event. And he might be able to bring a thing or two. I don't know, but maybe.
I believe it's just him coming over on his own, so he might have space in his small suitcase. But yeah, go check out the website. They've got some cool new stuff coming as well. Like a few new colorways on the hats. Noticed the other week.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, so again, I'm not talking legitimacy of bags, dude. I'm not knocking what Tony's doing. Tony's doing a great job.
100%.
And of course, charge bags are doing well, man. And good for John for getting that ACO stamp, dude. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. And we're all proud of you for that. But prior to that, what was a UKCL stamp? It was nothing, man. It just wasn't. Now, if Tony still has any of the old sneak bags left that he's still selling, those might have actually been manufactured still with the ACL company.
Yeah.
To which then we know they're all legit. But I mean, I have an original set right here. Somewhere. Matter of fact, on the bag itself, it says Sneak Professional Cornhole. The Pro Glide with no stamp. No stamp whatsoever.
So they're the pre-stamped ones. I think it was when he started going to the M series. That's when the stamps come in.
Yeah. But these were a set that were originally manufactured by an ACL company.
Yep.
Well, from what I understand, 2 ACL companies. But I couldn't get it out. I couldn't get it out of Dan who the other one was. He said he couldn't tell me. So yes, by all means, Tony, keep doing what you're doing, bud. Got much love for you. And John, I'm liking some of those bags you put out, man. I'm gonna have to probably get. I don't know. I think it was the Corsa series that I really like.
They're the herringbone ones, aren't they?
Think so. So bring a few sets
Wizard
down.
equivalent, I think.
Bring a few sets down, John. Let us give them a shot at the UK ACL event. By the way, guys, if y'all haven't registered for that, let's get that going. That's 3 weeks away.
Just waiting on the guest.
Yeah, we're waiting on the guest, so we can keep talking shit.
Do we know if he's received the invite yet?
He has.
Yeah,
he has.
Right.
He was walking into his office now.
All right. Sure. Just, we know what me and technology like sometimes. Sometimes I might mess up and send the invite wrong, and they just come straight through. Sometimes I go lobby. Sometimes I don't even get the link.
Man, it is hot out today, isn't it?
Yeah,
I didn't work
the
today,
boards. I had the boards in the car. My intentions to been like set them out at lunchtime and throw, but today it was just a no go. It was like
I wanted to get the board out.
My lunch was going over to the garage and getting an ice cream for lunch because I just needed something that cold. So I got like a Solero.
Yeah.
By the time I got back to work, I'd finished it, and it had all melted over me, and it was that hot. It's just ridiculous.
I was painting my daughter's bed. She took my son's old bed, and she wanted it painted white because it was just normal, like neutral wood color. And that's how hot it was. By the time I got like the front of a drawer done, I could literally start over for the second coat and third coat and fourth coat. Like that quick, this paint was drying, man. Just crazy.
Yeah, been far.
I mean, it made it great. It made it great for getting through the painting process where I didn't have to have wet paint and shit lying around. Like literally, you painted it, it was dry, ready to go again, man.
You done much throwing in preparation for?
No, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, man. It was pretty hot yesterday, and by the time I got home from London, because obviously that's a journey on the train and stuff, my kids were over and they were hanging about. So I kind of just hung out with them a bit, did some dinner with them because my daughter doesn't spend a ton of time over here, but on occasion she will. And when she does, I kind of just try to spend as much time with her as possible. Yeah. So I did that. And then I was kind of, I'm going to say I was kind of hungover. I wasn't like hurting, but I was fairly tired, fairly like, ugh, I don't really feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I say it's just when it's not hot as balls outside, it's get 20 minutes, half an hour in a lunch break or something. Try and just get the reps in. Trying to get used to these new slicky baggers bags.
Right on.
But yeah, I'm loving them.
Nice.
Like the retros and the crazies.
Which one do you prefer?
Say the crazies.
Because I have the crazies and I have the cosmics.
Yeah.
Now I've thrown the crazies a couple times. I haven't thrown the cosmics much, but Elliot likes to throw them, so I've been letting him throw them. So yeah.
I'm hoping that I'll get to a practice night this week. I've got nothing on tomorrow or Wednesday, so I'll hopefully turn up at either Ashby or Coleshill for one of them 2 nights. Get some more practice in, as long as nothing comes up or don't get stuck in work with it being month end. So it's just a wait and see sort of job at the minute. But hopefully it can get down to either.
We don't even get to practice tomorrow because we've now ended our contract with Curve Motion and we can't get into Colford until next week. So yeah.
Well,
but I'm not doing anything this weekend, and the weather's supposed to be good all week, so I might I'm gonna try to get the boards out a couple times.
Yeah, I'm on an empty weekend, so as long as the weather allows, do the same. Boards out in the garden.
All right, he said you should be lobby.
Don't show me and you. Oh, that's a ping. That's an admit. There we go.
Kris, what's up, bud?
And he's on mute.
You gotta unmute yourself.
Normally, it's us having the technical difficulties.
Yeah. To be fair, he ain't got the best setup, I bet. It's not the Air Force, bro. Stand by. Clearly better at bags than he is technology. You're still on mute.
Right there. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
I can hear you now.
All right.
Hey,
time to party.
It's a good thing you're good at bags because you're shit at fucking technology, bro.
Yeah, I know. Fucking terrible, bro. I want to see if I could just have this without this fucking piece of shit, headset that the army gives me. But we'll make it work. You there now?
Cool. Yep.
Yeah.
Or,
All right. Kris, what's up?
oh,
Thanks for coming on.
Long weekend, dude. Long weekend.
Yeah, now you got, what day do you travel back?
I leave in 2 days. I go back I got to be at the airport at 8 o'clock, and then I'll be in Colorado like 6 o'clock. So
Cool.
it's gonna be a good time.
I mean, I'm sure you're excited to get back to see your kid and stuff.
Yeah, definitely excited to go back and see friends, family, and whatnot. I had my going away speech today and ended up tearing up because all the people that I met here and just thinking about like the relationships I built and just having so much fun, dude. Like I've been in Europe. I didn't think this deployment would be the way it was. And just being out here and having the opportunity, I'm like super blessed to just be able to do that stuff. And like meeting you and all the guys playing cornhole like was a fucking riot, and I would run that shit back again. So
For sure.
yeah.
For sure, man. No, it was a good time. And you know, we were at 3 or 4 tournaments together, and we had a blast every time, man.
Yeah.
A lot of beer being drank.
Yeah, like I wish I wasn't so hard on myself in the beginning of the time I was here. And I feel like a lot of players nowadays take it way too serious. And after being out here and understanding that it's literally for fun and it's like a good time, I know people are serious like Roman. He don't drink. If he does drink, it's 1 or 2 beers, but he's there to win. And I appreciate like him being competitive like that. But me going back to the States is going to be an eye opener on like me just shooting my shit and talking shit to people and having fun. Like I wasn't really like that when I was in Colorado. I was serious and I was like, I'm not drinking because drinking would like, screw up my game. And I was like, look, if I want to take this serious to see what my PPRs are like or what I can truly throw, you know, cool, I get it, but I'm not going to be, Mark Richards, Tony Smith, any of these guys. That's all they do, right? But at the end of the day, we can run the hole all day, but it's to me not fun. I like talking shit, getting in people's heads, playing the
Sure.
block game, just get in people's heads and making them flustered and watching them mess up more me. Because look, I'm putting the bag down the middle, and if I miss, I miss. That's how I look at it. I played EJ this weekend, man, and he wouldn't miss. And I was like, look, you got those floppy ass Viper R's. They're going in no matter what. And I'm playing my slips. I lay a block. He would just get around every time. And I'm like, okay, 12-10 wash, 12-10 wash. And it got to a point where I was like, I'd rather you 2 me to death than me give you up 5-7 points around. Then that's a big loss to me at the end of the day. And that's one thing after talking to Sean this weekend was he was like, dude, it's not the fourth quarter in the NBA finals where you have to start jacking up threes. It is a game of chess. You have to take your washes when you can and continue moving on and just reset it back down on the other side of the boards. And after he told me that,
because there is no,
what's up?
There's no time limit.
There isn't, and that the other thing too is these.
You're in it until that opponent gets to 21. Period. And done.
Yeah, and the thing that kills me is that these guys are so rapid fire, and I take up like 10 seconds of my time. I'm trying to control it down to my pace, and that's another thing.
Dennis Cotter.
Yeah. He's a slow thrower too. We all know that shit, bro. But after watching him play, I kind of like took a step back, and I was like, I need to get in a routine. And I started doing that, and then I was messing up my routine when I was in Belgium because I would just hold 4 bags instead of put everything on the back of the board and walk back, reset, grab, spin it twice, flip it, or spin it once, flip it twice, set it in my hand, shake it, and then, lock and load and throw. But yeah, there's a lot of improvement out here that I see that needs to happen. Um, the new thing that I just saw this past weekend was them opening up the pro thing to what I don't know how many people it was, but it was a big number. Yeah, I mean, it's I love that they're trying to grow it. I Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone can be like, "Oh, I'm a 7.5 PPR. I can go pro now." But I'm like, "Yeah, but you have to go to all these events. You have to actually have to try because there's people in my state right now that like Colt Kenner, Robbie, Paul Alexander, Jim Beam, uh, all those guys are amazing players and would be top 2 in the state all day and get their pro card no matter what. So I think this new thing is going to push a lot of people to go to the ACL events, which will be great for the organization. And I want to see it keep growing. I don't want it to be where it stops people from going, because I feel like this whole last year, like no one really went because you had to pay $500 to go elite. So that was one thing.
Yeah, I think expanding it it's crazy. When we saw that though, we thought it was crazy because all season they've been talking about reducing the number of pros, and then all of a sudden it blew up. Um, but I read a little bit about it. I mean, we can say all day that there's going to be 695 pros. It's still not that easy to make pro. Like there's still a lot of criteria that has to be met to make a pro status for the ACL. So and again, like you said, the difference between those 695 pro is essentially all it did was add a lot of the elite guys that were already on the verge of being pro anyway.
Yeah.
You know, Denny Mallon, I mean, he's he's throwing against some of these guys that are pro all the time. He's an elite player, but then he's going to his state tournaments and stuff, and he's having to throw against other pros anyway. So
Yeah.
it's always been on that cusp. So I like it. But hey, I want to circle back. You were talking about how coming over here you see it's not everybody takes it serious, but it's a little bit more of a relaxed environment. And you mentioned Roman. You're right. Roman may not be drinking and stuff when he's playing, but Roman also will have a laugh and he'll
Yeah.
have a chat. He
Mm-hmm.
just doesn't do it when he's throwing. When he's throwing, he's dialed in. But outside of that, he does like to have a laugh and have a cut up. And to be perfectly honest, man, the amount of times like I've watched y'all play against each other this year, and you'll start talking just shit, just absolute shit. And he will kind of smile. You can see him in the back trying to hold in that smile because you said something that he at least thought was funny.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we talked to not long ago. We had Miranda Coy and Lori Dool on. We've actually had them on twice, and both times we've had them on, they turned around and went and won a signature. So we're trying to get them back on for Worlds.
Yeah,
but
man.
Miranda is trying to sell it to Lori to come over to Croatia at the end of the year for the championships and for the World Cup. And that's like her biggest selling point is how the difference between playing in Europe and playing in the States. And in Europe, I mean, it's just the camaraderie, man. And it's like we're all going to meet up in some other country and just have a good time.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, you think think about how hot it was in Italy, right?
Disgusting. Never again.
How many homemade, made on the spot, right in front of the venue pizzas and gnocchi were we mowing down? Like it was crazy.
I think I had 5 or 7 pizzas that weekend. Myself.
Yeah, I know. It was crazy. And it was so hot. You didn't even want to eat it, but it's homemade right there and it was so good. Where else? Nowhere. Them little old ladies just out there making pasta and gnocchi, sweating their asses off, man.
Yeah. That's the thing that like made me like just appreciate like the authentic food and like lifestyle. It's so different here. Like public transportation, it goes to everything. Like everyone just sits and watches your game. Not everyone if they get knocked out in the first round or whatever, but they're like even Belgium, there was probably fucking 50, 60 people there. You go to the US, like barely anybody watching these opens, and it's like they only are there to watch the signatures because they got to stay there for broadcast or whatever. And it's just a party. Like when I went to Worlds last year, made it on ESPN for the U.S. Forces, like there was people there. I had people from Hawaii there, back home from Colorado watching me and stuff, and it was a good time. And it's awesome to have that support and that build those friendships and have that stuff there. But I just wish it was more family oriented in these like in the opens. More when you go to the signatures, people will stay and watch because they have to be on broadcast or ESPN and stuff. But I just kind of I like when people get loud, and I want the sport to come back to an actual like sporting event like football. Someone hits a big shot, or even
Yeah.
people doing the wave like when they hit a 12 like like a social. You know what I'm saying? Like that's fun. I want like it to
Yeah.
become that if it can, just because it's like these guys are athletes, they're on TV, and I just want kind of it like that instead of like dead quiet crickets. Like I'm just like, come on, man. This is supposed to be fun,
Oh, I agree.
energetic,
And me and Graham have talked about this. Yeah, me and Graham have talked about this. The signatures, yes, people are in the crowd because of the way they broadcast.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to stay in the crowd because you've got an event after the broadcast anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas, like on a normal open, there's nobody in the crowd for the finals of singles because that's on Sunday and everybody's already left to go back to the airport.
Yep.
And they talk about it like Mish and Jake and all of them will talk about how there's no there ain't too many people in the crowd or whatever. And I'm like, that's because you did singles on a Sunday when everybody's like traveling back.
Yeah. And I
Like,
don't know. It does suck too, because it's like for me, it's like I have to put in like a 4-day pass if I'm gonna go to an event, right? So I'd have to get like Friday to Monday off, and then some of these it's like I'm leaving Sunday, but it's I get your point on it. It's just I wish it was more of they didn't cram everything into a weekend and people actually could get those days off for Friday to Monday.
yeah,
So
I agree, man. And I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate because I can take time off. So when I come to the
yeah,
events, I can stay the whole time because I'm a retiree and I have that extra income and I don't work Mondays anyway. So it really kind of works out for me. But I know like that's why I'm one of that's why I travel the most out of England because I can.
yeah.
I know plenty of people that want Graham would love to travel every weekend with me. He just can't.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't for like set times with work and through the month I can't have off, or like obviously I have my kids every other weekend.
Yeah.
Although if I was single and didn't have work commitments, I'd have been to more of these than Josh.
Ripping it, baby.
Yeah,
So
I got nothing else to
Maybe.
do.
But yeah, so all right, so let's talk some European cornhole, man. Let's talk about how
let's get at
you
her.
and Gavin have just been a dominant force in doubles, man. What is it? Five out of 8 wins, 7 out of 8 podiums.
Yeah, the one we didn't make was in Swiss, which I feel like that was our first tournament together. We both were all over the place. Dirk Lau put us in the losers bracket, and it kind of gave us a wake up call. And that was the only one we didn't make. And we were fighting to get back, and the French got us on our second loss. But after that, I told him, I was like, look, it's a team effort, and I told Gavin straight up, I was like, we gotta lock the fuck in, bro. Like you gave me this expectation that there's good players here, but most players are pretty much your 7 to 8 PPR players. Everyone's gonna have a good day, everyone's gonna have a bad day. But when he gave me that expectation of like, you're a good player and you probably will run through these guys, and then I go there and I play Roman and shit like that, I'm like, that's the first time I've seen someone run slick side down the middle the whole fucking game, and it pissed me off because you can't block it, dude. You can't. Like, it's fucking stupid. Like, it goes to a point where you block it and the fast side is so slick, it just goes right around. And it got to a point where after playing him the first time, first 2 times, I was just like, dude, I don't know what's in this bag, what's going on, but like, there's only 1 or 2 players back home that play like that, and I know how they play. Like Paul Alexander is a great player, but he plays 2018 game changers when we play in Scoreholio shit, and those things are like pancakes, man. They get by that hole, they go in. Doesn't matter. They'll be on top of the hole and they'll come back in and
Yeah.
fall in. And I'm just like, oh my God. So
Well, yeah, but you think like, I mean, where the game is in Europe to where the game is in the States, I mean,
yeah,
they they are a little bit behind learning the cut and the roll and all that. But
yeah,
hey, let's be honest. Two One of the best players to ever play the game, Brett Guy, still just runs bags, dude.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Fast
Like
side.
not he only this year has really started trying to like throw a block or do anything. And I listened to him on the Big Ass podcast like last week, the week before, and he even said he's like, if you see me throw a roll, I didn't mean to do it, but it worked.
Yeah.
So you got but Gunny's the same,
Hmm.
just straight down the middle, straight down the middle.
That's pretty
Like
much.
almost all of them.
Yeah, that's pretty much like the thing though. It was just that fast side. When I seen so many players doing it, fast side down the middle, and I was trying to play more of a dirty game. Like my PPR from last year to this year is already down. Like I think it's like last year I finished out the season at a 9, and then this year it's already at like an 8.83. But I'm trying to get more back into like the swing of things of just playing a dirty game, playing how Gavin plays, and I appreciate being able to play against him. And like my right to left cut is not like his, but I told him straight up this weekend, I was like, look, dude, your roll over the main bags is not like your roll right to left cut. He can make that thing just pop, and he was doing it to Roman on our last game, and I was like, just keep doing it because it's gonna piss him off. And he threw like a 10-3-8 or 10-5 on him, and I was like, dude, you threw phenomenal. And I was just holding my side down with Sean, and I was just taking the washes when I could, and I was letting Gavin do work. So it's kind of it gets frustrating when Roman does see that when he's like going down the middle and then you put a block and he misses. Once he misses one push, he gets flustered and frustrated, and I'm just like, it's a mental part of it of the game here because a lot of players ask me like, how do you just have so much fun and how do you enjoy it? And I'm like, because I don't give a fuck. I go in there just with no expectation, man. I go there, and the only time I get nervous or some shit is when I have like a bunch of people standing behind me. Like when we played Roman and Sean, our first game, everything was fine until I had everyone behind me talking. I had probably 20, 30 people and everyone's watching our game. And I'm like, well, I didn't drink my case of 2 Coors lattes today. So I think I'm going to, choke. And I ended up sniping the last bag. And I was so pissed at myself. So I was like, Gavin, I'm sorry. I'm going to go drink 1 or 2 beers and get these nerves shut down so we can have a fun, good time. And ended up winning it. So, um,
It happens sometimes, man.
it does. And, I think I'm trying to go back to your question is the thing that I loved being out here though with what they need to do to improve the game would be is try and throw events without having it be an ACL event. Try and get families to come out and play into it. And I think Wicked Woods would do great if they started running events like that, kind of like going to a town that's decent. I wish they would throw these tournaments at bigger cities so they can like start putting it on the radio or putting it on kind of like a billboard or something and try to blast it out as much as they can and put it in a bigger city, even though these like cornhole towns are like super far away, and I just wish it like this one in Brussels was awesome because it was around, a major city. So there's a lot of
Sure.
people there. And I was kind of surprised that there was a pretty good amount of people there, but there's something that has to push to get people to come, and I don't know what that could be. If Ton could be like, hey, like this is just going to be like a fun open game of it, right? Where it's not competitive players go to so people can win stuff. People want to go there to try a new sport, but feel like Europe is mostly strictly soccer and other sports instead of, cornhole.
Yeah.
So,
No, but I think countries like Croatia, Germany and France are all doing a pretty good job in running their own
Yeah.
leagues, or even Switzerland. Switzerland I think runs like eight Swiss Federation tournaments a year. Obviously, we in the UK had 5. Now we're moving to a 10 tournament schedule. I know, obviously Germany has the DCO with their Bundesliga, and France does a similar thing, if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're trying to get it out there that it's not just ACL events. But the thing is I think the problem comes into, if you're going to have to travel for a tournament, you want it to be like, if I'm going to pay to come to Europe to go to a tournament, I want it to be something I can gain points in towards something. Not just I wouldn't have a problem just going to a French tournament or a German tournament that wasn't ACL.
Yeah.
But if I'm already going to try to come to Europe 5, 6, 7 times a year to play, it's hard to throw that 8th one in there if I'm not earning something from it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that kind of, you get into this thing of the other Europeans may not travel as much if there's not some end goal.
Yeah, and I was just pulling some stuff up. Like, if these guys could just do, like word of mouth, if Wicked Wood could start, like, go to these big cities and start like promoting it, and then try to get at least a number. If he can get to a number where it's like, go to a local business, like a big local business where, another sporting event place or something, and just try and run it and get a lot of numbers to get new faces in this game. Because the juniors, if we can start getting these kids into this stuff, then those guys will start reaching out to the high school kids and kids around them. And I think that would also boost up like people going, because their parents, like, instead of them taking them to like soccer or something else, they're taking them to this, and then we can just grow it. I would just like to see it keep growing. I mean, you already see the opens coming up in Finland. What's another one? Denmark. I mean, I don't know what you guys had last year, but you guys are going. I mean, you guys are going up into like the higher parts of Europe where not a lot of people go to. So
yeah, because it's expensive as shit. I'm about to buy my plane tickets to Finland, and it's expensive as shit.
Yeah, I know. Gavin told me, he was like, I'm not going, bro. It's expensive as fuck. I was like, yeah.
Man, Gavin ain't got no excuse, dude. He lives in a dorm room. He lives in a dorm room and just banks. What is he? He's an E4, E5.
He's an E4.
So he's banking a few grand a month with no expenses.
The kid's got bills. The kid's got his own life. I let him live, but I understand, like, me, there were some of those trips, man. Like, I went to Italy and I couldn't get a rental car. Like, I booked a rental car. They're like, yeah, we're not accepting your driver's license. And I was like, why not? And they're like, you need an international driver's license. Like, I have a Eurosoft license. And they're like, it's not going to work. And I'm like, motherfucker. So then I had to go to Hertz and then turn around and have to pay fucking extra $400 for a fucking rental car, bro. It was ass.
Dude, I literally paid like £130 for 4 days for my rental in Italy from the Venice airport. On an Arizona driver's license.
Ugh. Terrible.
I'm glad I didn't tell you that there, man. You'd have been real mad, dude.
Yeah. Some fucking bullshit. But
yeah, that's crazy that they did that to you, for sure.
I mean, it is what it is. You live and learn. But I just was like, I'm going to this place regardless. I don't care what it costs. But
no,
I was
it's a good time. We had blast in Italy, man.
Yeah, Italy. Yeah, Italy was a good time. I do appreciate it. Like, just like being back at a place that I called home for like 2 years, and like just being there, like it felt like I was at home, to be honest with you. Like, just being back at the Venice airport, and I'm like, dude, I remember all this shit. I used to be at this airport all the time, traveling, going across Europe and stuff. But I told Gavin, I was like, look, you got to get this pizza because it's no other. And then, as you can see, everyone was slamming it. So it was a good time.
So good, man.
What other questions you guys got? or want to talk about? Because I feel like me being out here, me seeing everything, this is one thing that I want to tell everyone, I guess, in Europe is just keep grinding, get your mental game under control. And if that means, hey, drink a little bit, keep your buzz going, but don't get sloshed, do it. I'm not telling you to become an alcoholic or drink at every event, but if that calms your nerves and lets you play better to get out of your head, then do it. But the one thing that's kind of helped me over the season is just controlling my like what I bring in, like pretty much what I drink, but also it gets the nerves off, and then I'm just like relaxed and I just play my game and I try to be fun about it. Like, Roman's got to hit an airmail drag to win the game, and I'm gonna be like, you won't hit it, or hit it. I want to see you hit it, and then just get under his skin and make him really think about it, and then make him time out. So, that's one thing. And then I know most of these guys don't really have that much time to practice, but what they really need to practice around here is going in the hole in airmails only, because you can master the roll, you can do all that, but if you can't at least get all 4 bags in the hole, then you're not going to be that good of a player out here. I feel like if you're running the bags at least 5 times out of 10 in the hole, five rounds out of 10 rounds, pretty much 4 baggers, then you'll be set. If you can get around a 9 PPR through a decker round, you'll be good. And I just wish these guys would grind and practice more, because I put in the time and effort when I was in Hawaii for 2-3 months just to get better, because I was getting sick of getting beat by the girls all the time. I was just like frustrated. So I was like, I'm going to work on learning this role and learning how to block and stay down the middle. Like, I could do that, but they were just better at airmails than I was. So I was just like, okay, I set a block. They would hit airmails and I would miss my roll. So they would just keep airmailing. Michaela Calvi is a fucking dog, dude. She will run the hole all day on you. And then now she's got the roll, and I love seeing how much she's improved. And in Hawaii, it was just different. Like, you play against these guys, it's just down the middle, 24/7, high PPRs, no matter what. And then Ola, Michaela, and Alyssa, all just straight shooters, and it was fun to play against them because I had to learn. I was the only person to start the roll there, and then I started getting into it. And that's one thing that I want these guys to understand is you got to be able to put all 4 bags in the hole or have a 9 PPR to even stay around up in here. And unless, I wouldn't say stay in this kind of community, well, not community, but like to be better, like where Roman's at, where you need to be at, you got to throw 9+ PPR. And that's what people need to be doing. And they need to focus on running the hole, airmails. And that's, as you can see, that's all Roman does. That's all EJ does. Like, those guys do not roll. They're stay tight to the middle, hit a spot, hit the center of that circle of the stars, and just focus on that and hit it every single time, and you'll be just fine. If the bag is on the hole, push through it. That's all you got to do. And people kept asking me, like, how long did it take you to do the roll? And I was like, I focused on running the hole 24/7. And then I focused on airmails. Then I focused on the roll. I wanted to have all the shots that you can have in the book before I started competing at opens and stuff. That was like my main goal, was like, hey, I need to have all these shots because I'm going to go play pros and they're just going to block roll all day. What else am I going to do? Airmail over it, or back block and shoot too? Like, I miss that and they roll, I'm screwed. So that's my advice for these guys. And then I kind of want to see these bigger companies start pushing these kids to events. Just try to reach out to like smaller sports venues or something, and just get these kids out there. I'm telling you, like, once these kids get the word out, because they're gonna be like, I play cornhole, like Lenny, dude, that kid is gonna be a great player. I'm telling you, down the middle. Levi's going to be another one. I love watching those guys play and excel. And whenever they ask me questions, I'm always trying to help them no matter what. And it's just awesome that it was awesome that I got to come here and teach, instead of, like, you go back to US, man, and it's like you try to teach somebody how to throw a bag and they just like, yeah, cool. All right. No, yeah, I know what you're talking about. And then it's just like they don't really care and they go back to their old ways. And I'm like, I'm genuinely trying to take care of you. I don't want people to take 5, 6 years to get good. I want them to hurry up and get
Yeah.
good
No,
and
I will
take
say,
like,
I will say that you are really good about that. Like, I watched a number of times people asking you for advice, or hell, me and you chatted a lot in
yeah,
Switzerland and then again in Bitburg about just shots and shot selections and things like that. You know, um, hell, I probably played my best game all season against you in doubles in Italy. You know,
bro, I don't know how the hell you get a bag, literally, to land like this, do a fucking 720, and then fly in the hole. I don't know. What
I
is
don't
that?
either, but it worked. It worked.
Fucking, it was the
Um,
ugliest thing I ever seen. In Cornell, I said, what? I looked at it, I go like, fuck was that?
hey, better be lucky than good sometimes.
Yeah, I know. You and old boy were like lighting us up, and I was just like, all right. And then that lit a fucking fire in
I will
Gavin's
say though,
ass,
the
dude.
difference is,
What's
yeah,
up?
the thing was, is me and you were sitting down there just kind of cutting up
Yeah,
and throwing bags, whereas Gavin, he's still, because he is young, man, and it
yeah,
really was getting in his head, and Liam
yeah,
could tell. So Liam's like, "All right, man, now I'm just gonna run bags, dude. I don't care,"
yeah.
and it
And
worked, But
Liam was on, and then I think after when Gavin did side rail, that really like pissed him off and got in his head. But at the end of the day, I was just trying to let the game, like let the emotions go, let him control him at his own pace because I know how he plays, and I
sure,
just sometimes we've bumped heads where he was like, hey, don't tell me what to do when I'm about to throw or whatever, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna let you play your own game. Like I'm not gonna try and stop you in the mid throw or anything, but the one thing that another thing actually I'll bring this up too is another thing that I want players to understand here in Europe is to like slow the hell down. You don't have to like once that bag lands, you don't have to like throw it. There's no point to. Like you have a total what 14 15 seconds to throw it. And then when they walk down there, right? Everyone's such in a hurry. I'm like play the long game. That's like my favorite. Play the long game, tire that person out.
yeah,
See what they do because they're not. This is what I used to do. Is I used to play fast because I wanted the game to hurry up, and I wanted people to go at my speed. And then after they go at my speed, then I really mess them up. But then I would mess up. So then I started slowing down, and I like it where I slow down now, and then people are like, "You're taking so long." And like I had people here like, "Why are you taking so long?" And I'm like, I mean, I do have 15, 14 seconds to throw a bag, so I don't know why you're getting mad.
yeah.
This shit was funny,
So
man.
out of out of everybody out of everybody you played, man, it seemed like Roman was kind of your kryptonite.
Yeah,
You guys face each other quite often, and
yeah.
you've talked about it. Like, it is a lot of that bag running, and I feel that. Do you feel that any part of that like was a little bit of a mental block as well, and not being able to like kind of didn't get it figured out early enough in your tour here?
I think it was more the fact of like I tried too hard to block and I gave up too many points to him and I focused on blocking the first couple of tournaments that I was here. And then after um I beat him in Bavaria when we were in double or not doubles in rounders and I just I was like, look, if we're gonna fucking play, we're gonna play. I'm gonna run the bag just like you're gonna run the bag, and that's all I'm gonna do. I want to see where I can like where I'm at, with it. And I was just like locked in. And then the next game we played in bracket, I literally lost by 2 points or something, and we were just going bag for bag. And I was like, I'm going to let him figure it out. If he messes up, he's messing up. So I feel that it's taught me to be patient with myself and also work on things because I see a lot of people nowadays just want to take risky shots when they don't need to, and I've learned that playing against certain people,
For
you
sure.
just got to play the long game. Like when I played EJ, I was like, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm going to just run the bag. If it stops and I have to try and wild cut to get to, I will. But I wanted it to be a game like who's better going down the middle, and EJ was better that day. And
Sure.
after playing with Roman though, I've learned that you just got to take your time with throwing the bag, and then you also got to like not worry about what he does. You got to just play your game, and you got to let the other person make the mistake. And I've learned that with him just because he's gonna go down slick side down the middle, no matter what. And if I try to block, I'm giving up two every time. So that's why I would always just try and run the hole and let him make the mistake. And when I played him in Italy, that's all I did. As you can see, it was just super high PPR games, and then I was just like, I'm gonna run the hole. And then if he's gonna shoot it and he hits my bag in, cool. If he hits it and make it, awesome. Like, great shot. That's all I can say. And
Yeah.
move on. And that's one thing that after I was talking to Sean this past weekend, it like came to light to me. He was just like, it's chess, man. Like, stop trying to run the bag with me or whatever. Like, if you want to, we can run bags. And he was like, if the guy's gonna run bags, then I'll start block, and then I'll start, taking it tailored towards mine, where I block just right in front, where it's just into the water. Because what happens when it's just in the water, it hits ricochets. If you do like a level 1 or like 1.5, 2, all you got to do is step out and get around. And that's what Roman would do, or he'd push through it or airmail. And then now you got to clean up the mess. And then I'm not the best pusher, but at the end of the day, like, you miss that bag, you're giving up 12-7, that's 5 spot. So
Yep.
it's just like, yeah, he's a great player, and I'm excited to see him in Worlds this year. And he's definitely he's gonna get a wake up call when he's there, and he has somebody that is better than me. Like, I would say I'm an elite player, but like these guys that are pros that do this all the time, every day, dude, like insane.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
And it's going to be a wake up call for these guys when they go there and they understand who, like, you have to play. Like, it's like playing. I told these guys, I was like, it's like playing Roman every game. Like, there's people that are on and that will just shoot lights out. And I love watching the guys from the West Coast, because um uh Ethan Farias and who's the other guy? Um he played Tony Smith and Matt Guy. What's his name? I was just talking about him the other day with Gavin.
Roybal?
Not
Or
Roybal. I play with
Ruben?
Roybals.
Yeah.
Roybals a good time. Yeah, he's fun. I play with him in Cali. Um, the he just won his thing, dude. I'm trying to think of his name. The Spartan dude. The hell's his name? Nyberg. Richard Nyberg.
Oh, Nyberg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I love watching that guy, man. He is definitely gonna be somebody to fuck with this season coming up. I know he's gonna get pro status. He's definitely a great player. I love how he plays similar to Mark Richards, and I'm so like excited to see what happens next year. And I would like to see him win an open, um, singles open, or a signature. It'd be badass. So those guys
Yeah,
are
for sure.
gonna be dogs. So
Well, any chance? What are the odds that you're making it back for Croatia in September?
far from none, dog. Not gonna lie. Um, I would love to. I would love to come back, but I think with everything that's going on back home with financial issues
Sure.
and shit, like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, I'm like, being out here on this deployment, I was able to pay off my call, like, not pay it off, but pay it down to where I can sell it. Once I get rid of that, and then be able to pay off some credit card debt, I'll be good. But I'm just, I've been gone away from my son for 6 months and my daughter, so I'm excited to get back. So I'm like taking this time off and not worry about cornhole and just
Sure.
focus on them and take care of them and like go golfing and like just take a step back from grinding all the time. Like literally I was here with Gavin all the time. Every day I would throw an hour a day, and like it kind of puts a toll on you when it's like all you do is cornhole. And I feel like there's more in life than just cornhole sometimes, because when you're locked into a gym, just throwing a bag for a whole weekend, when it's like you could have been doing something else or going to an event and seeing something that's awesome, like, you know, some historic event that's happening, not like TV or something. Like I'd rather be doing that than throwing a bag sometimes. And I think being here, like, it was an amazing experience, but I think I'm kind of like a little burnout from it, because it's just
Yeah.
like travel, cornhole, just for that. And it's not traveling to enjoy time off away from work and um, just life in general, you know. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would love to come back. I had these guys literally in Brussels, man. They're literally like, "You're coming back. I don't care what I got to do." Gavin's like, "I'll pay half your ticket." And I was like, "Man, I would like to come back and just have fun and a good time and just party it up with you guys." But we'll see, because I kind of locked it in. This year was going to be like the year that I go to Worlds and I compete for the qualifier and everything. Because I wasn't able to do it last year. I got to go back to Colorado to get permissive TDY to get the days off for free instead of like spend leave. So
Sure.
hopefully I can get that. But a lot of these guys from Europe are going to go there. I'm excited for that, just so we all can uh, play in that. Uh, I had Todd Kasecki hit me up, and he wanted to know if I would play. I think it was in the Europe Crew Cup or the U.S. Forces Crew Cup. I don't know what it was, but I definitely was thinking about it. So that's something on my bucket list. I just appreciate like the people though that I've met here, man. They're so like
Yeah, for
different,
sure.
and it's fun, and I'm just excited to, be here and be able
Yeah, man.
to teach these guys and help them
Yeah,
out.
I know, man. I enjoyed hanging out with you, dude. I think we got along real well, and we had some good times. For sure, man. You're a good dude, and we loved having you out here, man.
Yeah. Was
You're you're loud and obnoxious sometimes, but fuck, so am I.
yeah. You ever plan you guys ever plan on going to Worlds? Is my question.
Yeah, I would love to. I actually, me and Liam qualified for ACL Worlds and doubles.
So what do
Um,
you what's your plan with that? Where's Worlds at for ACO? Because I know that's different than what we're
Tulsa,
talking about.
Oklahoma. So it's from where I'm from.
Okay.
It's where I'm from. But so the problem with me in going to Worlds is because my kids go to English schools. They get 6 weeks out in the summer, man,
Yeah.
and they have uh they have summer camps and all these things. Like it would be different if they didn't have summer camps and stuff, because I would be like, yeah, cool. I will. Let's go to the States. We'll go for 2 or 3 weeks. For the week I'm at Worlds in North Carolina, you guys can stay at my brother's or my parents' house or whatever.
Yeah.
But we're trying to go in October back home because they haven't been back to my family in like 5 years, 6 years. So it kind of makes it difficult. It's hard to justify me just going, all right, man, I'm going to piss off for a week to go to the States to play cornhole,
Yeah.
because it is an expensive flight.
Yeah. That's the thing
So
too, is like
instead, I'm going
even
to
what's
instead
keep
I'm going to
going?
piss off to Croatia for a week to play cornhole.
Yeah, that's another thing too, is like I just saw like how expensive it was. Like I was looking, it was like $900 just for the flight. Then you get it's like you got to get the Airbnb, then you got to get the rental car, then you got to get the food and the drinks and all that shit. So it'd be like probably 2-3 grand for me, and I'm just like, if even if I went back, right, I'm not gonna even qualify for ACL Europe Pro, right? And it's, to me, yeah, it'd be a great time, great experience, but I've been here for 6 months. I've got to do that. I just feel like it would just be amplified tournament,
Yeah, yeah,
right? And that's it. But
for sure.
it would be awesome to play with the pros, like, play with them on Crew Cup if they needed someone. And I know there's going to be a lot more people coming this year than there was last year. And I'm super excited to watch those guys play. If I do come, it's probably going to be hush hush. Like I'm not telling anybody if I do come. I'll say that if I do come, I ain't telling anybody I'm coming, and I'm just gonna pull up. And then probably the only person I would tell would be Gavin. So I will say that if I do come,
Nope, that makes sense.
that's the only person.
Hey, but if if you tell Gavin, we'll all know if you're coming because he won't go find another doubles partner.
Well, also you guys will probably see on the registration that I'm signed up, so I'm tracking. I mean, it would be. I wish it could be
All right,
DL
man.
like. So I wish it could be on the down low, and you guys wouldn't know, and then I just
Yeah.
pull up, and you'd be like, "What the hell?" So
What's going on? Yeah. All right, man. So we do what we call a deca round when we have guests, and it's 10 quick fire questions about cornhole and about you. So we're gonna do that, and then we'll let you get out of here, man. I know you're busy. You got packing to do. You got
I already got all that shit
girls
done.
to say goodbye to. I don't know what you got.
Oh my god. Yeah, I got all that shit done. So I'm just, hanging out.
Right.
Cool.
So, question
all right,
one.
Graham, it's Graham's time to shine.
Yeah. How did you get into cornhole?
So I got into I played it backyard a couple times. Didn't really care for it. Played ladder golf or whatever the hell that was when I was in Michigan, and then I started doing cornhole, and then I just let it go because I went in the military. I really got into it when I was in Hawaii. I started playing backyard, and was beating everybody, and I was like, this shit's pretty easy. What the hell? I might as well go see if they have any cornhole around here. And I didn't even know the regulation size boards or anything like that. And I got into it playing in Hawaii, first tournament. It took me probably, I think, 2 or 3 weeks to finally get a win. Um, but it was after getting my ass beat by the Hawaiians so many times, I was like, nah, dog, not happening no more. So I literally went and got a set of boards and I practiced and I went on Amazon and I bought Titan bags and got after it. And then after I got really into it, um, I started, going to Kill Shot because I'm from Michigan and I wanted to support, a local brand. And then I went to Pro Snipers and I just threw fast bags. And then um, I changed my throw style and everything. And then after I went to the Hawaii State Championship in 22, 23, um, I did a clean sweep where I won advance, I won blind draw, and I won doubles open, and that was like the craziest shit. I threw my first perfect game in the blind draw. I think it was like 5 or 6 rounds, and I just was like kind of shocked, man. I was like, that gave me the motivation to keep grinding and be better. So after going from playing in the backyard to being on TV and just being able to come across everyone teaching and coaching, and it's just been a ride, and I love it. I don't want to give it up, but I think after the Worlds this year, I'm gonna probably take a step back and just work on a different sport. I was thinking about APA pool. I was thinking about doing darts, trying to do pro darts, or get qualified to play into that, and or was the other one.
All right, well, hold on.
Golf.
Because we might get a question about some other stuff here in a minute.
Yeah.
Don't give everything away.
Okay. I got you.
So, how long have you been playing?
So I started late 22 and then early 23 is when I started. So we're talking 2 years now. It's going to be going on 3 after this year. And I'm just telling you, practice makes perfect, So you just got to keep grinding, and you got to my biggest thing to everyone is down the middle, air mails, and then work on the roll. It's going to take a thing or two to do it, but throw comfortable and then throw your game, and don't worry about anybody else's other game. But just like Mark Richards, man, just same thing every time is the best thing I could tell you. Mental game is another thing, and then put yourself in high pressure situations. Like I'm talking where there's tons of people there, and then be able to absorb that nervous energy in and turn around and apply it to your game and be better. So, yeah.
I know you said you're going to take a step back, but do you have a cornhole goal?
Uh, yeah, I kind of, I was talking to Gavin about this. This is kind of funny. So if I could stay here, this is one goal I think uh before I hang it up would be ACL Pro in the US, ACL Pro Canada, and ACL Pro Europe, and be like the first person to do that. Which I know these guys that are pros here, all they would have to do is go live in Canada for a year or get residency and then win that and then go to Europe and do the same thing. But I think that would be dope. I just think that would be cool to have a different jersey from different countries or and just be able to hang that up on your wall. But my one thing though is I think any state that I am in is to win the state championship, and I'm in Colorado. The shitty thing about that, though, is they're having their state championship when I leave to go see my kid. So I can't play in it. And that's one thing that I was like, man, I would love to play in that just to get a shot at it, you know? And the guys there, I mean, they phenomenal players, and I don't know who won it last year. But we did. I think it was I forgot who won it, but Paul Alexander won it a couple times. I think 2 years in a row, or Jim did, and they're great players. So yeah, that's kind of one thing. Any state that I'm in, I want to win the state championship one time, if I can, while I'm there. Another thing is to win an ACL like title or any first place, second place, anything like that. Just to have that plaque is one goal, and then I think the other thing is what I'm kind of aiming for is to like keep running my local scoreholio things, but kind of bring that energy as like party scene and fun coaching stuff back and to grow a group in Colorado because we have cornhole every day and it's disgusting, dude. Monday through Sunday, there's cornhole. You just got to travel for it, and I just like having people there to have a good time. Like you already work hard enough. Go out and have fun and like play kind of like cornhole league and just enjoy it. So that's kind of one of my goals right now.
Right. So next year highlight so far.
This year or next year?
No,
Yeah,
your
just
highlight so far that you've
yeah.
Highlights of that I've had this
no,
year. You
no,
talking?
like your best moment in cornhole. Like, what is your
Oh, okay.
cornhole highlight? Like, the best thing you've done.
I would probably fuck, dude. There's like top. I'll give you top three right now. Would be the clean sweep in Hawaii. Uh, Second one would be being on ESPN. The third one was being down 20-2 to Gavin and coming back and having that mental like agility to come back. And I had all you guys like on my ass. Like, what's his?
That's Switzerland.
Yeah, in Switzerland,
Yeah.
I had Woody and KT like over here filming it, talking shit. Like, oh, Kris is down 20-2. What does he do? And I was like,
Yeah,
I'm just,
I think me and Liam were sat in the bleachers area for that, and
and
I've got Liam giving running commentary on that, and his commentary was pretty funny on that.
I would probably say those are my top three things like that were very special to me because just to like be able to overcome that like that much down and turn around. Like I had 2 or 3 games like that in Swiss. Like I played Matthew and I was down 18-3 and I came back and won. And then I played I think Ube and I was down
Yeah.
17-2 and I came back and won. And I was just like super proud of myself for doing that. And then when I was at Worlds, I was crying because I was just so proud to like tell my parents and my brother and sister like, "Yo, I'm on fucking on ESPN, dude." Like little at like my little ass, ginger-headed ass is on ESPN because I'm fucking out here playing for U.S. forces and like I come from a fucking small town. Anyone can do it. You know, anyone can win, anyone can play, and that's like the thing that I want people to understand is like you just got to put in the time and effort and just you gotta get after it, man.
Right, so the next one, your favourite shot?
Ooh, Oh shit! I want to say the Penguin, man, because I did it to Gavin the other day, and he did it when we were on. I did it the other day to him, and I was like, it was like first fucking down back we were playing. I did it to him. I was like, that was gross, dude. But that's one of my favorite shots. I think I love the energy an and one brings to the table, though, because it's so gross. Like when I did. I don't know if I did one this year, but I love it just because it's like it's a specific shot. It's like all these shots, like a penguin super hard. It's crazy. You can flip the bag over, go in. But like hitting an and one is a game changer, and it just like gives me the energy to be like, I just get fucking crazy when I hit one of those. So that was probably the two shots that I'm like, holy shit about.
Right, so, what bags do you use?
So sponsored by Underworld, I use slips, clones, and I love the slips. They're just like Wizard L's. And the clones are like a Viper R. But when the boards are slow, I'm gonna probably go slips. It depends on the color of the bag for me because my black ones are super slow, but my gray ones are like fast. It's fucking weird. But I want to get white bottoms because I think white bottoms would be even faster. So then I would just have three bags I throw, but they would all be one brand, uh, one series, which I love. I love them. And it's did a lot for me this year. We threw the clones, and it's kind of hit or miss because they're a little bit too fast, and I kind of like a slower bag just so I can be able to cut, roll, So
Right, and next, your favorite player?
oh, we got to do male and female, or just favorite player overall.
You can you can do both if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're the first person to ask that.
Well, it's because it's crazy. Like I ran into so many great players. I love Tony Smith's like just creativity to create bags. I love Cash's energy as a little kid to be like loud and talk and just get in people's heads and just be amped all the time. Um, Mark Richards, I just like how much of a robot he is, man. He is just automatic. He just is just the definition of like solid player. Like you are not going to change him at all. He's super consistent. It's tough because I partied with Adam Hisner, and definitely one of my favorite fun players to be around and talk and bullshit with. So I would say Adam Hisner would probably be one, but I love it's just I would branch out to go to like all the people like junior all the way to senior. Like Damon Dennis is my favorite because he's just nonchalant, don't give a fuck, dude. He's just fun and there to have a good time, and he just laughs and throws his bag down the middle. So I was trying to go like dip into all of them, all creativities, but I don't have like a number one set player. And then to go for females, Deborah Odom is one of my favorites. Uh, Linda Ford, she's a dog. I just appreciate her being prior service and then being just an awesome like person to hang out with. Desiree McCoy she was I think a 2-year pro, but I met her when I was in Colorado, not Colorado, in Cali, and and in Phoenix. She's an awesome, humble person. It's just more of like the player style is not me. It's more of like what that player has to bring to the table, and also, yeah, their game's good, but like everyone could throw it down the middle. You know what I'm saying? So it's more of like what that player brings after the fact, like off the boards. If I can hang out with you and shoot the shit and talk shit and have a beer with you and have a good time, that just brings me more to that player.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right, so, your dream cornhole partner?
Ah, shit. Ah, if JT was not so serious, we'd be the fucking duo redhead tandem fucking team to whoop some ass. I'm telling you. I think he would if he would just calm down and not be so serious sometimes. I think he would be a fun person to play with. But I think my favorite person,
Who did you say?
Krasinski.
JT Jasinski.
Oh,
But I think
yeah.
my favorite player to play would probably be Jeremiah Ellis would probably be the one. Him or Light Skin or Dean Norton. Those are the three I'm picking because they're fucking hype as fuck and ready to just talk shit and have a good time.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I was just talking to Dean the other day because he was talking about trying to matter for the UK Open.
Yeah.
And because he's been my pick to be my favorite player because when I met him last year in the UK, man, we just drank beers and talked shit, man, and it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah, I met him at Worlds and I was talking to him, and then fucking Jeremiah Ellis came around the corner, but I met him in Michigan Open, and I was just like, "What's up, man? Like, I see you fucking whooping ass this year, and just wanted to come say hi." And then I was just, talking, real life shit with him about him being UPS driver and stuff. And I told him I was, I'm still military, but I was a prior truck driver, and I was just like, bro, get that CDL, get all those certifications for hazmat and stuff like that, and you don't have to work at UPS no more. I'll tell you that. Once you get those certs, you're gonna be golden.
Yeah.
So yeah, those three right there would probably be my favorite. I mean, I would love to play with Jeremiah Ellis because he just talks that shit and just tries to get everyone hyped. So
Yep.
Next, your favorite thing about cornhole?
the partying, the people around the community that are open arms and want to have a good time, the competitiveness of it, like it's fun, and I just want what I love about it is just like being it's a backyard game, but it's already on ESPN. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's that competitive where you can get that serious into it, but it's just a backyard game where you talk shit and just playing and having fun. That's kind of what I like about it, and I think moving forward, I just hope it grows to be more like that instead of super serious and people just like, oh, I'm only doing cornhole because I want to go to college at Winthrop, and I'm like, I mean, you can do that all you want, but like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be shit talking and having fun.
Yeah, definitely. And then last one, outside of cornhole, other hobbies and interests.
Uh,
We're
I
gonna
like
ask you
right.
both of these questions. We have 3 questions for questions.
Okay, so my hobbies and interests outside of cornhole, I love fishing, hunting, wakeboarding, snowboarding. I like being outside doing whatever I can. If I'm at a bar, I gotta play darts, pool, something. I can't sit and drink. That's not me. I will tell you that right now. But other than that, man, like those are pretty much my hobbies. I love fishing. When I first got to Colorado, I was like, "Where's these lakes at? I gotta go." So I'm a Michigan boy, and every time I'm home, I'm taking my kids fishing. Always limited out on bass. Like I know it's 5 limit, but I'm over here catching 20, 30 bass every time I go home. Like once a day. Like I'll go and just murder them. So
All right, and then we normally only ask 10, but we'll ask this one. If you had to have a walkout song,
Because I think
what would it be?
you are a good candidate for this question
a walkout
because you
song.
strike me as someone that would actually do this. Yeah.
Fuck, dude. Probably I like Let's Go by Little John, like to get the fucking blood going. Let's Go by Little John Trick Daddy. Um that one gets me fucking pumped. But like Balta Kid Rock, Balta Bang to Bang Diggy Diggy. That one, dude, we used to walk out to that in football all the time and it would just get me fucking like chills down my arms ready to fucking flip shit. Um But I don't know. I think that and probably a little bit of Eminem. I don't like. There's so many Eminem songs, but right now it's like the Kid Rock song's probably my number one, just because it's just like it starts slow and then it just builds up, and then it fucking goes.
Yeah.
So yeah. What's yours?
I can
I
dig
gotta
it.
hear this.
Go on, you go first.
If I had a walkout song, I kind of always just go back to Blind by Korn. Just the opening line, like that's that same thing of just getting you hyped up. It's like, are you ready? And then it just goes, dude, and I love it.
Yeah, I got you.
But we did that when I wrestled in high school, man. That was like we run out to the mat for that song.
Oh my God, dude. What about you, Graham?
Go ahead, Ace of Spades.
Go ahead, Ace of Spades. You know what? You guys are going to make me write down this shit now. Because now I'm going to go listen to it.
Yeah.
What was yours? You said Korn.
Mine?
What? Yeah.
Blind. It's from their self-titled album.
Okay, yeah. I'll listen to this shit after, but I listen to too much EDM to like that's my thing that gets me pumped up. Like I start just fucking getting after it. So but yeah, that's probably mine.
All right, well, Kris, it's been a blast having you out here in Europe, man. I know there's a lot of people that are glad you're leaving, not because of any other reason than the fact that their doubles team now has a chance to win some hardware.
I know, dude. Like, I don't know. Hopefully, Goonie and I will say, hopefully, Goonie and EJ have a chance to get it. I think Sean, if he's partnered up with somebody good, he's gonna be somebody to fuck with because he's gonna be hard. He's gonna be tough to beat. I appreciate like hanging out with Sean this weekend. He's a great player. I know he's a pro before. But Roman and Goran, if Goran can get his shit together and throw like Roman, like that's gonna be a problem this whole year. I'm telling you, they're gonna be a team to beat.
Yeah.
I want to see who Gavin partners up with after I leave. I'm trying to give him, like I want him and Jaka to play together. To be honest with you, I think him and Jaka would be a fucking disgusting team because they block and roll all the time. But we'll see what happens because they both threw fire this weekend, and it was actually nice to see that actually both of them throw good because most of the time I see Gavin in like the mid 7s, low 8s, and he threw over I think an 8.5 in both, like almost near a 9, while still blocking and rolling and shit. So I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah. He's not a hole runner. His game is just block roll. So I want to see who he pairs up with. I already told him that David, the guy that partnered up with Roman, like he rolls too, but he's got a farm to run, so he's not there during part of the season. And I think if it would be just beneficial for Gavin and Jaka to run it because they're both bust you up. What's it called?
Yeah. No, it would be.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sponsored players. Yeah, that definitely makes sense for sure.
It's that, and plus they both throw, like love throwing Wizard Elves. So I think that would just work out for them in the long run. And then they're both looking to hopefully get sponsored by Rich from BG, which would be awesome. I just want my main thing though when I got here was to have fun, have a good time, and then I'm also just super ecstatic that I got to play with that kid all the time and like get him ready for like next year or even get him where he's at now and get him his pro status and then actually get him to be a better player because when I first played him it was night and day with how bad his mental game was until where it is now is fucking amazing, dude. And I am so happy that I got him to get where he's at now, and he's going to be definitely a hard player to play against in the next couple of years. I want to see him win a singles title while after I leave. So
it's a possibility for sure, man.
Yeah. So
well, we've enjoyed having you on the show, man. We've enjoyed having you here in Europe, dude. We wish you the best going back.
Yeah.
I know you're ready to go see them kids, dude. I've got kids and I've been away from them for the military and stuff. I understand how it works.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I appreciate it, man.
And
thank you guys for having me on here.
No, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, for sure, bud. Keep in touch.
You got me on Facebook, bro.
Yeah,
Anytime.
keep in touch, man.
I know I talk
Yeah.
a little bit too much, but I'm a talker. So I
No,
appreciate
it's
you
fine,
guys.
man. It don't bother me at all, bro.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I hope you guys have a good night. And then anytime you guys need to do this shit again, or just need a guest appearance, let me know. I'm down for this shit.
For sure, man. Thanks for coming on. Safe travels, brother.
Thanks, you. Talk to you, bye.
See you, bye. All right, man. Kris coming on to talk a little bit about his time here in Europe. I know we went a little long today, but he's passionate about it. He's passionate about the sport. He's passionate about being out here. Yeah, man, he was a lot of fun to hang out with. You were fortunate enough to get to hang out with him some in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Well, we all did, and then me and Liam hung out and talked to him a lot in Bitburg, and then we hung out with him a lot in Italy. So, yeah, he's a real good dude, man. I know he's not for everybody. He's a loud, brash American, and that's not for everybody. And I take a lot of flack. But man, he does stuff with the best of intentions, and he's not an asshole. He's just loud. He likes to have a good time and talk shit, man. But yeah, he was a lot of fun, and I think he brought a lot to the European game in the fact that it was an outsider coming in.
I think there's going to be a bit of a hole left in Europe with him going now.
Well, I think the same suspects are going to be podium, and that is what it is.
I mean, in terms of personality as well, like
for sure,
what he brings
for sure. But it's also an outsider coming in and pushing these guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Roman beat Kris more than Kris beat Roman in singles and stuff, but Roman also knew it was going to be a tough match every time they had to play.
Yeah, he made them earn it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like I said, doubles, there wasn't no team out there more dominant than Kris and Gavin. There's just not. So we'll see how it plays out the rest of the season. The UK Open coming up, Denmark coming up. Denmark, I don't know much about, and I don't know who's all going yet. But like the UK Open, man, it's gonna be tough because we know that Sean and Denny are going to pair up.
Yeah.
And we know that Mike German and Killian's going to partner up, and Denny's son Killian's been throwing lights out as well. So,
and as you mentioned, Dean Norton might be coming over, so potentially whoever his partner is could.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's not now. He messaged the other day and said he just doesn't think it's going to be able to happen. But EJ and Goody will be
fair enough. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't count out you and Flo.
To be fair, I'll probably play well because I just won't take it serious. I'll just be pretty chill, which that's the whole idea of it. You've seen what I do when I take it too serious. I throw one bad bag, and before I know it, it's taken me 4 rounds to recover, and at which point the score's got too far away. Whereas whenever me and Flo are partnered up and we've just been relaxed and chill, like we've actually played pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, but it was good to have Kris out here, man, and it was good to have him on the show. I'm ready for the upcoming weeks with the UK Open, Finland Open, and then of course the start of the UKCL season.
Yeah. Some exciting cornhole this summer.
Hope so. I hope so. And we'll see what everybody has to say this week about our bag discussion.
Yeah, right.
But by all means, if any of you guys got any points y'all want to bring up, man, y'all know y'all are more than welcome to get on the show and do it.
Yeah. Just shoot us an invite. We'll have you on open discussion.
Yeah, you want to argue your point? By all means, man, come on the show and argue your point.
Yeah. Well,
but
in
the meantime,
what we got this week and final signature before Worlds.
It is this weekend.
This weekend, round limited this time, so
be
interested to see if we still have the the same few names towards the ends of brackets. I'm hoping, for the sake of my fantasy team, Eric Davis does what he's done in the past with round limited games, and he has a good weekend. So we shall see.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
I wish
as
you the
always,
best of luck.
there'll always be the teams that we're always pulling for, no matter what.
That's right. So, but anyway, I guess we can bring this to a close.
Yep.
I'm Josh.
I'm Graham. Remember, just board it.
Just board it.
Later.
Later, dude.